Today I'm gonna smoke a rack of ribs that is already pre-seasoned from Kroger, and I'm gonna tell you if they're worth it or not. I'm gonna be using my RecTech 1250 today, and I'm gonna be using a blend of pellets that is apple and oak. I'm gonna get my hopper completely filled up, and I'm gonna turn my smoker on to 225 degrees. Once it reaches 225 degrees, I'm just gonna go ahead and lay these on the grate because they're already pre-seasoned and pre-trimmed. Now I'm gonna let these smoke at 225 until they're ready for a wrap. Our ribs have been rolling at 225 in this apple and oak smoke for 2 hours and 45 minutes now. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the smoker and we're gonna take a look. Wow, and as you guys can see, we have a really deep, nice red color on these ribs. See a lot of this fat starting to render. I'm gonna go ahead and get a quick little temperature reading and see where we're at. We're at 170 degrees. So I think this is the perfect time now to go ahead and get this wrapped. I'm actually gonna wrap this in butcher paper, and the reason is I think we've got a lot of good smoke in here, and I really wanna see what the flavor of these ribs is like with no extra added things to it. So we're not gonna glaze it at the end. We're not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna let these get wrapped up in that butcher paper. It's still gonna allow the rib to kind of get extra tender in there. And that butcher paper is gonna absorb some of that moisture, help keep them nice and moist. We're gonna have great ribs. So let's go ahead and wrap it now. So I have a sheet of some butcher paper here, and I placed the ribs face side down. Now all I'm gonna do is take one edge, fold it over, this edge, fold it over, and I'm gonna get this side like this, and I'm gonna kind of crimp this underneath. We're gonna get this folded over. And then I'm gonna go ahead and set these back on the smoker, just like this. All right, you guys, we've been rolling for just over 5 hours now, about 5 hours, 15 minutes or so. Let's go ahead and get a temperature reading and see where we're at. We have nice and bendy ribs. If you could pick your rack of ribs up in the middle, it feels like it's almost gonna break. I'd say you're pretty good. See over here, we're pushing right at 202, 203. At 202 degrees, I know these ribs are gonna be super delicious. They're not gonna be like pork butt if you let it go up to that 212 degrees where they literally just drip off the bone. But this is a really good spot for me to pull them off at. And if I'm being really honest with you guys, don't tell anybody, but I'm getting a little impatient and I really just wanna eat the ribs. So I'm gonna let these rest for about a good 15 minutes and then we'll dig in. Guys, I have to say, it looks halfway decent. We let it cool off for about 15, 20 minutes or so. Let's see how these taste. I'm gonna go ahead and get this flipped over. The underside got a real nice char. They must have a lot of sugar on that underside. Let's go ahead and cut one of these off. Now these are the spare ribs, so they're gonna have some of the cartilage at the end, and hey, that's not a bad little cross section. Has some pretty good smoke on there. Let's go ahead and see how it tastes. Yeah, not bad. It has a really good pork flavor because we didn't put on any sort of sauces or sugars or butters. We just had that pre-seasoning on there with some smoke. This was a Kansas City style seasoning, which to my understanding is gonna be a little bit on the sweeter end. As you guys can see, we have a pretty clean little bite right there. Pretty tender ribs. I personally think that I can make this better because when I season my ribs, I season them to my flavor liking. But if I was in a pinch and I was really hurting for some ribs and I had no seasoning at home, or I don't know what the circumstance would be that you would go ahead and use this, but I'm not upset at all. These are pretty moist, pretty tender. As you can see right there, we're still able to peel off that bone. This isn't bad, guys. 15 bucks. It's already seasoned. Just throw it in your smoker. Now the question is, would I recommend them? I would say if you're a beginner and you don't know anything about trimming or seasoning and you just want to kind of get your hands wet, I would say this is a good place to start. But if you're like a seasoned vet and you've got all different sorts of rubs and sauces and different methods and wraps and styles, I would say seasoning at home is, probably going to be your best bet. Well, if you guys have made it this far in the video, make sure you click the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be putting out a new video every single Friday. I really love to cook and make great food that my friends and my family enjoys, and I also love to show you guys how to do it in your house. So with that being said, guys, have a good week. I'll see you next Friday. Peace.